thing's really quick, you know? It's got a lot of power and torque. Look at this. Did you see what I just did? Today we are looking at the Engwe Engine Pro 2. This is their new model, just came out. It has a 750 watt motor in the back, rear hub. They claim it has 1200 watts peak power. I think that's pretty true. It has Shimano Altus 8-speed cassette. It has in here a 52 volt 16 amp hour battery, which is pretty nice. You got really robust suspension forks with preload and lockout, and a really nice, you know, mountain bike style spring in the back, which is pretty cool. This is like a hydraulic. It's not just a, you know, a junky coil spring. This is legit suspension, people. I already rode it, and it's got some really nice power. It has I actually bought these tires for one of my other bikes. They're good tires, good dual sport tires, Chow Yang, 20 by 4 inch, really nice mag wheels, and it's got a headlight and a tail light. Okay, and it has hydraulic disc brakes, which is pretty cool, front and rear. That's rear, that's front. And has 160 millimeter rotors. I would have expected 180 on a bike like this, but it's fine. I mean, I tried the stopping power and it doesn't affect it at all. Because it's a folding bike, you know, right here, you've probably seen this before. I'm not going to fold it. You can pull this like this, and you can fold the bike in half. Okay, and the handlebars go down as well. You pull this, and the handlebars come down. Okay, it is really heavy if you're going to be doing that, but you could. If you need to put this in like an RV or something, you got a couple people, it's not a problem, you know. The handlebars stem is pretty high, so it's you know, I'm almost 6 foot, and look how low I have the seat. This is a big bike, you know. If I had the seat up to about here, and I could barely touch my toes. This is a big bike, you know, so keep that in mind. But overall, I mean, it's a nice bike for the price, people. You're getting some really nice stuff. I mean, the hydraulic disc brakes, the full suspension with the hydraulic suspension, you know. It's a robust bike. It's got a lot of torque, and it's got a horn. And I don't know if you can see the display. It's kind of hard, but it's got a big colorful display, which is pretty easy to see in the dark. It's got, or excuse me, in the sun. It's got the speedometer. It's got the pedal assist level. It's got trip. It's got odometer, max and average, and it's got a thumb throttle here, and it's got 5 levels of pedal assist. Okay, really nice bike. I'm very impressed with it. It's robust for a folding bike, you know. And I like the attention to detail on the cord wraps and whatnot. I really like the brakes, the brake shift, the brake levers. Really nice. You push this button right here to turn the bike on and off. Off. Push it here. Turn it on. A couple things I will say. One, it's kind of finicky with the with getting this thing to work. I had to contact them directly for a video on how to make this work. First, you got to unlatch this, and you see this button right here. It needs to pop out. If you have this like this, and you see how it went in, it doesn't work. You got to have it all the way popped out for it to work, like that. And then the key has to stay in there then, you know. So that's interesting. Not a huge fan of that. I think they could have easily gotten away with not doing that. And then the other thing is, I don't know if it's the weight of the bike or whatnot, but the kickstand, in my opinion, should be here as opposed to back here. And by putting it that far back, like, you know, it's wobbly, you know. I think if the kickstand was here, it wouldn't be as wobbly. It does have a rear rack, and you know, overall I'm pretty high on the bike. I think it's really comfortable. It's got a lot of torque. It's robust for being a folding bike. I love the full suspension. I like the look of it. It's a big bike, and you could definitely take this thing in some light off-road, no question. All right, people, we are off. There's a lot to like about this bike. We will start with the tremendous positive. One, I'm going to show you right now. Ready? This is one of these tests that I do for all my e-bikes. Ready? Dead stop. Very thick grass. Then it starts to get up to like a 6 to 8% grade here. Look at this thing. I will say that 9 out of 10 bikes that I take up here can't do this, what this is doing right now. Look at it. It went all the freaking way. So it says it has 175 newton meters of torque. I think it's more like 95, 90. I think it's really quick, you know. It's quick up to its 20 miles an hour. It's got a lot of power and torque. More so than most bikes. It does peak at 20, which is a little disappointing. I do feel like that it has, especially since it says it's a 1250 watt peak, meaning 750 watt motor, 1250 watt peak, that it should have the ability to go faster. It's got the 52 volt battery. I mean, so there's no way to unlock it unless somebody knows of a one. I'd love to find out what that is. This thing has to go 28. There's just no question. I've ridden other bikes that have much less capable motors and batteries. They're 48 volt and they can go 28 or 30. So there's something going on here. So there's that. It does have tremendous suspension, you know. It's like, wow, it's like you're just floating. Like this right here is just a bunch of mess. But watch this. This is just a bunch of mess, and we're just floating through it, and I don't really feel it much. You can hear that my voice isn't really going da 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 da, you know, as it's being bobbled all over the place. It's not much. So this thing's got a lot of comfort, some really good suspension, and yeah, just really freaking good torque, you know. Like, wow, just pulls you through just about anything. Now this is a big bike. People need to understand that. I put the seat, you know, at an average height, and it was too much for me, and I'm almost 6 foot. I had to lower the seat even more. So this is a big bike. I mean, you could easily be 6'4" and ride this thing. Yes, you could be probably 5'8", 5'10", but it's, you know, or even 5'6", but you know, you're gonna just have a really big, capable bike on your hands is all. You can do it. Now, the distance between the handlebars and the seat is pretty far. You can see, again, I'm almost 6 foot. My I don't know if you can see, but my elbows are barely bent, like barely. So the seat's pretty far back, and the seat goes up really high. So between the two of those, you could easily get a really tall person. I would even say 6'6" wouldn't be a problem on this. So this is a big boy bike, you know, big girl bike. Let's do a little bit of this, and then we'll turn around. See, this is some nice off-road right here. This is more than just a fire trail. Fire road. We're handling it. We're handling it. This is not going to be easy. A lot of bikes fail this test. And it won't say anything negative about this bike if it fails, but it'll say a hell of a lot if it makes this. We're already at about 10% grade. Okay. Yeah, this is seriously getting up to about 14% grade now. It's hard to tell on YouTube, but trust me. For sure. Yeah, this is freaking steep, people. And we're going 12 miles an hour. Okay, right now it's about 12% grade. It's gonna be 14 here in a second. It goes up again. That's why this hill is just crazy. Okay. Right now we're at about 14% grade, believe it or not. It's hard to tell. Look how far down it goes. See if we can do this. See, it's starting to really struggle because this is a really freaking steep hill, people. I will say this is freaking nuts though. Like, I feel the power, you know? It's not struggling like other bikes would just be flat out dead at this point. This thing's still got some fight in it, you know what I mean? I feel it. Look at this. Wow, people. See, this validates the 90 to 100 Newton meters of torque. There's no way this thing only has 75. It's got more. There's no question. I mean, did you see what I just did? Nothing. I've reviewed probably 45, 50 bikes, and I bet 10 of them can do what this thing just did. So the motor's pretty freaking powerful. It must have a pretty good amp controller. I'm assuming it's got like a 45, 50 amp controller, like legit. A lot of bikes have 20, 30. So you got some torque, people. No question. All right, the full-on grass test. It's got a little bit of rubbing with the brake pad, but that's no big deal. Yeah, just you're floating, people. You know, feels like I'm floating. Yeah, wow. Yeah, it's nice. Suspension's nice, people. Very nice. A little sand for you. Are you serious? Who does this? Okay. A little sand action. See that? How crazy is that? It's pretty good stopping power. And let's check that out. Yeah, really good stopping power. So, very capable bike. Even though it's folding, you know, a lot of folding bikes have like really loose right here where the frame and the handlebar stem meet, and it kind of wobbles. I hate that. But this doesn't. This is really formidable. It's really strong, you know. When I'm doing this, I'm moving the whole bike, not just the handlebars. And it's got a really strong handlebar, you know, and the frame is really well built. You know, really nice suspension. So for a folding bike, it's pretty capable. It feels like a bike that isn't a folding bike. You know what I mean? If you know what I mean. And for the price, I mean, you're getting a pretty good bike, you know, for this price. I mean, with the motor and everything, and the torque, and the full suspension, and the hydraulic disc brakes, and you're getting a really good bike. So overall, I think, you know, this is a nice bike. You know, I mean, I would think they could easily charge $1,800 to $2,000 for this, and it would still be okay. So the fact that you're getting it for, what is it, $12.99? It's a really good price. Okay, let's see if we can get it. Okay, ready? Okay, this is flat. We're in basically the highest gear. Here, we're in the highest gear. Hey there. Okay. $21. $22. $23. Okay, we got up to 23 on pedal assist. 5 in the highest gear. So, I mean, it says 28. I don't know what conditions that is applicable to, but I believe in real world testing, and you just saw it. So